Now that the fog has worn off, now that the smoke has cleared, I think it's time for us to come back to reality. Yesterday, I was as excited as anybody. 2025 Dodge Charger. They dropped the RT, the Scat Pack, and then the six pack. All-wheel drive, 670 horsepower monster. In my mind, I'm thinking, what can beat that? But when you look a little bit closer at the architecture of this Dodge Charger, there are quite a few things about it that really causes some concern. Number one, the weight. 5,800 pound car, 5,800 pounds. A Dodge Durango is 5,700 pounds. That's a seven-seater, three-row SUV. Top speed, 132 miles an hour. Let me say that again. Top speed, 132 miles an hour in the Scat Pack, 670 horsepower Scat Pack. I can't get with that. I hit 132 miles an hour every single time I get my Hellcat merging onto the highway. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So as you can tell, I'm in the house, giving you some house content, car shows, car meets, everything and anything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around because you're in the right place. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So the fog has cleared. You know, we watched the trailer, the release of the 2025 Dodge Charger. And of course, they gave us the RT, which is 496 horsepower, all-wheel drive powertrain. They gave us the Scat Pack, which is 670 horsepower, all-wheel drive. And then they gave us the six pack, which is either 420 or 550 in a twin turbo inline six. I was excited. I was, I was in the mix. I was in the hype. People were asking me all kinds of questions. The number one question that people asked me was, would you trade your Hellcat in for a 2025 Dodge Charger Scat Pack at this point? Now, I say at this point because we don't know what the SRT Banshee is going to look like. But that was one of the number one questions. And initially, power-wise, I was thinking, oh, wow. I mean, it may get my Hellcat. It may smoke my Hellcat. It may smoke a red eye, may smoke a demon. But then when you start looking at it, it's not all that it seems. And I want you guys to correct me if I'm wrong. So number one thing that a lot of you guys brought up was the weight. This thing is going to weigh 5,800 pounds. 5,800 pounds with nobody in it. I'm 265 pounds. So at that point, I'm sitting in a 6,000 pound car. Now for reference, right? Let me screen share so that you guys can see what's going on. Boom. All right, so boom. For reference, 5,800 pounds is what the 2025 Dodge Charger is going to weigh. Now, mind you, this is just a Scat Pack. We haven't even talked about what the SRT Banshee is going to weigh with an even bigger battery. Dodge Durango, fully loaded, weighs 5,710 pounds. That's a seven-seater, three-row, four-door SUV. The heaviest Hellcat Durango is going to run you about 5,700 pounds, right? 5,700 pounds. And even fully loaded, you may be over, 6,000? Well, you'd be well over 6,000 because we're talking 7 adults. So maybe 6,500 pounds, 6,700 pounds. The Dodge Charger is going to weigh 5,800. Once I sit in it, it's already at 6,000. Once somebody else sits in it, it's already at 6,200. 300 maybe, right? RAM TRX, fully loaded RAM TRX, 6,443 pounds. So it's essentially a little under 500 pounds or a little over 500 pounds lighter than a RAM TRX. That's what your all-wheel drive muscle car is going to be as far as the weight is concerned. Now, the number one concern that a lot of people had with the Hellcats and Scat Packs, Chargers and Challengers is that they were too heavy. Right? So let's look at the weight of a Hellcat Charger right now. A Hellcat Charger right now is about 4,500 pounds. Gross weight of 5,500. Curb weight of 4,500. 4,500 pound car is what our cars weigh right now. And they're going to give us a 5,800 pound car. It's fat. Now, you might say to yourself, well, it's all-wheel drive and it's an electric motor with an insane amount of torque. It's got to have crazy torque to get that big ass body moving, right? So one of my guys, shout out to my man I'm not even gonna say his name, but shout out to my guy. He said he sent me a picture. So a lot of Dodge dealerships are gearing up for the release of the Dodge Charger, right? So they're starting to make all kinds of accommodations as far as the electrical output of the dealership is concerned, because they're going to have to be able to power all of these electrical chargers and so on and so forth. He sent me I'm not going to show it to you because I don't know if he wants me to send it to you, but he sent me a jack, right? And it's a jack strictly for the battery that's supposed to be hoisted up into the charger. So in the event that maybe you're having battery issues, he'll put this jack, he'll lift up the car, put the jack under the battery will come out and the jack will lower. The jack is rated at 3,500 pounds, which basically means it can carry a battery up to 3,500 pounds. He's estimating, and I'm estimating as well, that the battery itself for these cars is going to weigh about 2,000 pounds, 2,000 to 2,500 pounds. That's more than half the weight, or right at half the weight of the damn car. The damn car is the battery itself. You know what I'm saying? We're not even talking about the human beings that's sitting in it. We're not talking about the frame. We're not talking about the architecture. We're not talking about the wheels and tires. That's just the battery. The battery itself is going to be 2,000 to 2,500 pounds. This is going to be a heavy ass car. And that's not even what scares me. The weight doesn't bother me, because in my mind, 670 horsepower, all-wheel drive, somehow or another, Dodge is smart enough to, engineer that car gets off the line, regardless of how heavy it is. Now, for handling purposes, that's a different story. This may be the worst handling car that anybody has ever driven. A 5,000 going on 6,000 pound car is heavy as fuck. Let's just keep it real. That's a heavy ass car. And that's an even heavier car to be taken around turns and corners and this, that, and the other. But I digress, because I'm assuming the Dodge engineers are smart enough, brilliant enough to engineer a way that, somehow or another they can offset that. So maybe they got some extremely stiff steering, suspension, right? Maybe it's some sort of high quality racing suspension, right? That keeps you level, that keeps you stabilized, and keeps you in the race and in the corners or whatever, right? So I give them benefit of the doubt on that. What I can't give them the benefit of the doubt on is the fact that this 670 horsepower Scat Pack, and I'll play a clip for you here in a minute. This is from TFL, and they're a big YouTube channel. This is actually their TikTok. But the 670 horsepower Scat Pack, guess what the top speed is? So like I know, the top speed on the RT Charger right now is what, 160, 165. The Scat Pack is 180, 185. My Hellcat is 200. The Red Eye is 220. And then I think the Demon is 220 as well, or maybe 200. I don't know. The top speed on this 2025 Dodge Charger Scat Pack is 132 miles an hour, bro. 132 miles an hour. I hit 132 miles an hour every single day I get in my Hellcat, just merging on the damn highway. I'm not even playing. I'm just merging on the highway fast. I hit 132 miles an hour every single day for fun. And this is the top speed of this car, which means if this is the top speed, it's going to struggle to even get to that, right? Like after a certain point, now I'm thinking of mechanical engines. I'm thinking of ICE, platform. Like with the Hellcat, like it's going to get you to 130, 140, 150 really quickly. And it's going to keep pulling in a linear fashion. But once you hit like 150, 160, 170, it's going to start to slow down a little bit, right? But it's still going to pull, but it's going to slow down because, of course, the higher you get, once you get into those higher gears or the highest gear and you get up to that speed, it's going to slow down the rate of acceleration. And that's just natural for any car, right? If this thing is slowing you down at any point getting to 132, it's a slow ass car. Like you may get from red light to red light really fast. But God forbid you get on the highway and you get to running beside a car with a legitimate engine in it, you're going to get smoked every single time. Every single time. Camaro SS, Mustang 5.0, Scat Pack, a real Scat Pack, Hellcat, RT, you getting smoked every single time. 132, that's the top speed. Let me play this clip from TFL. I think it's the Fast Lane. That's the name of the channel, the Fast Lane. This is on their TikTok. So they got invited. I didn't, but they got invited to the release. Check out their cars.
Hey Andre, check it out. It's a Dodge with a frunk.
What?
Yep, it's a new all-electric Dodge Charger. Remember the Challenger used to be 2 doors?
Yep.
And the Charger used to be 4 doors? Well, look, there's a new Charger with 4 doors.
Or 2 doors.
Yeah, or 2 doors.
So this is the Scat Pack. There's also the RT. This 4 door is coming in 2025 with upwards of
670.
And a 3.3 seconds
3.3 seconds 0 to 60.
Quarter mile of 11.5 according to Dodge.
Now we're going to talk about that quarter mile, 11.5, because there's something they're not bringing to the forefront with that, but we'll talk about it.
Interior in the production car. This is nuts, and they have many drive modes.
The interior.
Adds 40 horsepower.
What are the drive modes?
Donut mode, drift mode, drag race mode.
The interior's straight. I don't like the steering
Look at
wheel.
this. You think it might be a sedan, but it's not. It's actually a hatch.
Huge amount of space.
Now, top speed is 137 miles an hour, and it's coming when, Andre?
Top speed is 137. I think I said 132. I apologize. Top speed is 137. Like even the V6 Chargers right now, the SXT will at least get you to what, 140? If I'm not mistaken, can't you do 140 in the SXT? I think I remember I didn't do 140, but I knew that I could get up to 140 in my rally package Charger. Top speed is 137 in a 670 horsepower car? Nah, nope. I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. You're telling me that I can smoke most people from 0 to 60, but once we get to 100 miles an hour, it's a wrap? Like, you got me? 137 miles an hour is the top speed. Now, I'm sure that that's got to be, maybe that's a safety feature. Maybe that's a feature where it's like, that's the break-in period, like after you've broken in the battery or something like that. Maybe you can open it up to 190, 200, but V6 Charger, let's see here. Dodge Charger, V6, top speed. Why did it just say that the top speed for SXT is 196 miles an hour? The GT trim reaches at 147. So a V6 all-wheel drive, 147. That car couldn't even beat a GT at top speed. I don't know, guys. I really tried. What else? Was there something else I wanted to bring to you? So that was TFL. I really tried, you know what I'm saying? I really tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. But 5,800 pounds. And then when I sit in it, now we're sitting in a 6,000 pound car. That's heavier than a Durango. That's heavier than a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Heavier than a Wagoneer. Heavier than the Trackhawk. Almost as heavy as a T-Rex fully loaded. And the fact that it only goes 167 miles, I'm lying. I'm lying to myself now. I'm trying to create a reality. 137 miles an hour, which is slower than a damn GT Charger, slower than a damn GT Challenger, SXT Challenger. I don't know. I'm not liking this at all, to be real with you. I'm not liking this at all. Now, I hope, like I said, I hope that it's a situation where maybe that 137 is like a break-in period kind of thing, where it's like maybe after your first 5,000 miles, 10,000, well, not 10,000, that's too long. Maybe 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, that's when it starts to open up. You know what I'm saying? But if that is the case and the top speed is 137 miles an hour and that's it, that's a problem. That's a huge problem for me. That's a problem. Because the allure of the muscle cars that we're driving right now is not just the sound and the power, but it's the top speed on the dash. It's the fact that you can look at the dash and see that your RT can get you to 165. Your Scat Pack can get you to 185. Your Hellcat can get you to 200. Your Red Eye can get you to 220. You got 220 on the dash. You got 200 on the dash. You're driving a 200 mile an hour car. That's one of the allures of what we're driving right now, at least for me. When I get in that car and I see that red speedometer and it says 200, I'm sitting in a powerful car as far as I'm concerned. Now, I understand acceleration is everything and realistically who's ever going to get to, but you can't say that because it's not like we're talking about 200 miles an hour. Like if a Hellcat went 190 instead of 200 and the argument was who's ever going to have enough road to get to 200? I could understand that. I could understand somebody saying you're never going to see 200 miles an hour or 190 because you're never going to have enough road aside from being on an airport strip or something like that. But it's like 137. I hit 137 every single day, merging onto the highway. I'm sure you do too. So it's like, don't give me that argument of who's ever going to hit 137. All of us, every last one of us, bruh. Every last one of us is going to hit 137. I hope that's not true. I just heard it from him and I've heard it from other sources as well. So between the fact that it's a heavy ass car and as far as top speed concerned, it's a slow ass car in that regard. Another thing that I wanted to bring to you, it's still recording. So it said that it can do, so let's go to the Dodge website, right? So boom, it's already on the Dodge website. You can already go and explore it and play with it and all that stuff. Boom, they got it right here. Next Gen Muscle Unleashed. That's cap, but whatever. Really nice colors, whatever. Let's see here. Next generation is set to deliver more thrills that surpass legendary V8 performance. So they constantly have to, reassure you that this is more powerful than their V8 paths. 670 horsepower. The Charger Daytona Scat Pack is expected to target 0 to 60 in 3.3. Right? So that sounds fast, right? 0 to 60 in 3.3. A Hellcat's 0 to 60 was 3.7. That's not really that fast. And this is a slim body Hellcat. This is not even a red eye. This is not a Demon. This is not a jailbreak. 3.7 for a Hellcat. So you're saving, what, 0.4 seconds, supposedly? So that's not really the fastest that we've ever seen. So let's stop the cap on that. And then target a quarter mile in 11.5 seconds. That number, that's why I stopped it in that TFL video. Quarter mile in 11.5 seconds. A Hellcat's quarter mile is 11.4 seconds. And that's just a standard slim body 707 Hellcat. It's, it's faster as far as acceleration is concerned. Red light to red light, you'll probably beat a Hellcat or a red eye. But when it comes to getting on the highway, of course, legally, when it comes to taking it to a track and doing the quarter mile, we're still more powerful. I think, I could be wrong. We're still more powerful. Let's see here, just for shits and giggles. Dodge Charger, let's do a Dodge Demon, 0 to 60. Dodge Demon, well, the new one does 0 to 60 in 1.66 seconds. So that's not, let's not do that one. Let's do old school Dodge Demon. What was it, 2018 is when it came out, Dodge Demon. 0 to 60. 2.3 seconds. Now, mind you, that's 840 horsepower. That's a bad example. Let's do Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red Eye 0 to 60. 3.3. Now we're talking. 3.3. Here it is right here. 3.3 seconds in a Dodge Challenger Red Eye. So, I mean, we're neck and neck with this all-wheel drive Scat Pack. Now, mind you, the Scat Pack is 670. The Red Eye is 797 or 807. So some people would say, well, it takes an extra 120 plus horsepower, 110, 120, 130 plus horsepower for us to be neck and neck. But it's like, you're all-wheel drive and we're not. So, let me stop this before it records too much. But, once you get under the hood, literally, no pun intended, but once you get under the hood of this new Charger, it may not be what they're making it out to be. Is a Scat Pack a powerful car? Absolutely. 0 to 60, all-wheel drive, electric, 670 horsepower. That's very powerful. That's a lot of power right there. And it's all-wheel drive, no spin. I'm out of here. Is it the most powerful car that we've ever seen? Not even close. Not even in the top 3 or 4 most powerful cars that we've ever seen. Right? Demon 170, obviously. The Demon, Red Eye, even some Hellcats are getting it. 5,800 pounds. That's a truck right there. That's a truck. You know what I'm saying? That's a truck right there. And the battery in and of itself is going to run you about 2,000 to 2,500 pounds. It's going to take all-wheel drive, 670 horsepower platform to get you any kind of speed, you know, because anything less than that, and it's just a slow-ass electric battery is basically what it is at that point. How do you feel about this? The question that a lot of you guys ask me is, would I trade my Hellcat? Hell no. Hell no. Would I trade my Hellcat in for a 670 horsepower Scat Pack 2025 Dodge Charger? No, I would not. Absolutely not. I'm not. And I don't see any reason to be quite honest with you. Even when they showed the interior, I wasn't overly impressed with the interior, to be real with you. Everything that car has, my car has right now. With the exception, the only interior thing is that the screen looks to be a little bit bigger. It'll probably have the newest version of the Uconnect system. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably have some more features that you can play with. It looked like it had interior lights, so you can do your reds, your blues, your greens, your whatever. But would I trade my Hellcat for what we have right now, this 2025 Dodge Charger Scat Pack EV? No, I would not. No, I would not. Now, the SRT Banshee, we'll see about that. But as it stands right now, no, sir. I'm keeping my Hellcat. And I guess let me rephrase that question to you. Based on what you've seen here, if you're a Scat Pack owner, or RT owner, or Hellcat Red Eye owner, is any of this stuff looking good to you? If it is, let me know. Maybe list some reasons as to why. Because at this point, the only reason that would be compelling to me is the fact that it's an all-wheel drive platform. That's literally it. I mean, I was playing with the Durango Hellcat on WT Harris. For you guys that's in Charlotte, you know, we was going from light to light. Now, when we got in the middle of the streets, in the middle of the lights, I was getting them every single time. And that's just because my car is lighter and it's faster and this, that, and the other. But off the line, I was spinning. His was all-wheel drive and he got me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only allure of this new 2025 Dodge Charger is the fact that it's all-wheel drive. But everything else, I'm not really feeling it, man. Even the body of it, I think it looks cool. I don't like the 4-door Charger because it looks like all they did was stretched it out. It doesn't look like they added any kind of, you know, body lines to it. It looks like they just took the 2-door version and was like, well, let's just stretch it and throw a back seat in there. That's all they did to me, if you ask me. So at this point, now that the smoke has cleared and the fog has subsided and we can actually see this car for what it is, I don't know. I'm keeping my Hellcat. I'll tell you that right now. This is a V8 channel, will always be a V8 channel. But as of right now, I'm not overly impressed by what I'm looking at. Talk to me. How do you feel about it? 5,800 pound car that only goes 137 miles an hour. I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't like that at all. At all. See you guys in the next one, man. Peace.